Namaskaram. Welcome to day 75 of the Safe Soil journey. Today Sadhguru is in Jaipur. I hope you were able, for those of you who were nearby, you were able to attend the event. It would be nice to hear how your experience was attending the in-person event. This is something, it may have been a very different experience for you to see to see such a large number of people assembled and seeing Sadhguru live participating in the different activities over there, or maybe if you have been volunteering at the event. So it would be nice to hear how your experience has been being a part of this event, or even if you participated in any of the events earlier, the Safe Soil events. It would be nice to hear how your experience has been. So please do share with us. Today, in continuation with the programs at Isha, which we were looking at, I thought we could cover about the children's yoga programs offered at Isha. So there are various kinds of programs offered at Isha which are suitable for children. So there are some programs which are offered at the Isha Yoga Center itself, whereas other programs are offered at different locations across the world. Some of them, like the nature awareness program, which is offered at the Isha Yoga Center. This is a residential program, which is I think currently the name has been changed to Children's Yoga Program or something. Earlier it used to be called as Nature Awareness Program. So this is a residential program which happens at the Isha Yoga Center. Generally it happens once a year, somewhere in summer around April or May. So that is an opportunity for people to come and stay at the ashram and learn yoga and be exposed to the various elements. So that is something I remember I volunteered for many programs like that. It was really fun. So that's something which children can make use of. I think the ages starts from around 9 to 13 years or something. They take only between that range. I'm not exactly sure what is the age criteria currently, but as far as I remember, it was around that age. So that is one option, and we also do similar programs around Bangalore. So we've been doing that since last 5 years or so. We have been doing programs called as Srishti, which are residential programs for children. We usually take children between 9 to 16 years. So we even take teenagers. So we've seen that there's a lot to learn from each other, and how they support each other during the program. So we've been also doing these programs from last 5 years. It is an opportunity for children to learn about yogic practices, to immerse in nature, to appreciate every life around them, to learn about yogic diet, to see if they can incorporate a healthy diet, and also to indulge in fun games and interaction with all the other children. So we've been doing this, and there are so many children who have taken part since the last 5 years, and you may have come across many videos which we have posted, and this is something which we feel that just offering them all these elements together in a program makes a big difference. So we've been doing this, and we hope to continue doing this. Maybe even in locations outside Bangalore we may plan in future. We have a program in July which we have planned from July 8th to 10th in Bangalore. So those of you who wish to take part, if you have children in that age range between 9 to 16, children and teenagers, you can look at our website for more details. So this is one of the programs, the residential programs. Apart from this, so residential programs, usually it happens at the Isha Yoga Center, or privately teachers, they may conduct at different locations across the world. So very few of them are doing residential programs because of so many things which are involved in terms of logistics. But there are other programs like day programs where children can learn a particular practice, come for a few hours a day, learn for a few days, and then take it up by doing these practices at home on their own. So those programs are happening aplenty. There are many different teachers teaching these programs across the world. So there are different kinds of programs which children can learn. For example, if they are between 4 to 7 years of age, Generally, there are very few practices like Upayoga which they can learn, just a handful of practices. So it may be too early, but in case they are really interested, then maybe just a few simple practices of Upayoga they can learn from any Hatha Yoga teacher. But once they cross 7 years, then they can learn a lot many more practices. The whole set of Upayoga practices they can learn from a Hatha Yoga teacher. And even Surya Shakti is possible to learn. They can learn anyone above 7 years. If they cross 8 years, they can even learn Angamardana. That is something which was earlier taught only to adults. So Sadhguru said that even children above 8 years can learn. So that's something which is possible. And once they cross 13, 14 years, then they can learn Hatha Yoga practices. For example, if they have crossed 14 years, they can learn Surya Kriya, they can learn Yoga Asanas. And if they have crossed 15 years, they can learn Shambhavi Mahamudra or inner engineering programs and the other Kriyas or the advanced programs offered at Isha. So as they grow, the kind of programs which they can go through can also differ. So but the important thing is to get them started early. If they have crossed 7 years of age, then it's a good time for them to get started with yoga. So these day programs could be a good start. We have done so many day programs in Bangalore. We've been doing since last 5 years. So we started with day programs where we just expose children to yogic practices and something about food. Then during this this pandemic, when it happened, we also started doing online programs called as Srishti online programs, where we were offering yogic practices, then information about how to eat, what kind of foods which we supported for them, how to be in tune with nature, how to put your hands and feet being connected with the earth. So all these things we started doing online. So this is something which helped many more children across the world to get exposure to all these tools. So we hope to continue doing these online programs as well. So that's also something which you can make use of. If you have children between 7 years, anyone above 7 years, then they can even do these online programs. And many more teachers across the world, Hatha Yoga teachers across the world, they are also offering these online programs. So there are a lot of things to choose from. If you have children, you have online programs, you have offline programs. In offline programs, you have day programs which are non-residential in nature, and you also have residential programs. So there's a lot of stuff you can choose from if you have children, and if you wish to get them exposed to yogic practices. So please see how you can choose whatever works for you, and based on wherever you are, you see whatever is available and see if you can learn. So those of you who have already gone through our programs, maybe with us or with other teachers, it would be nice to share with us how your experience has been, and if your children are able to continue the practice. And one of the best ways in which you can motivate them is you also practice along with them. Maybe if you have learned the same practice, both of you can kind of decide on a time in the morning and do the practice together. That would be a great inspiration for your child as well. So whichever way you can encourage them, it's good. Sometimes they may need multiple reminders, but don't force it upon them, because that may not work. Doing yoga forcibly may not work. It's just something which we can gently encourage them in so many ways. Sometimes we have seen sending them to a residential program helps, because the way they are exposed to all the other elements makes a very positive impact, and they have a good experience. Sometimes seeing a video, or going to the ashram, or even you doing the practices along with them, all these things could also be encouraging for them. So whatever works, you see. But the important thing is that as a parent or as a teacher, the best which we can do is to expose the children to these tools early on in their life. How they pick it up, when they pick it up, it's up to them, but at least we can do our bit by exposing them. So please see if we can make use of the same. Namaskar.